having 7 heads and 10 horns, full of names of blasphemy. Remember Daniel talked about this, and John talked about this, talking about this beast that will come and speak great words of blasphemy. Daniel and John say that. But then also he's explaining here that she's sitting on this beast and it has 7 heads and 10 horns and it's full of blasphemy. Got to make the connection. Then also it says having 7 heads and 10 horns. This is describing both the dragon and the beast, because both of them had 7 heads and 10 horns. So it's describing both the dragon and it's describing the beast. Well, let's look at it a little further. Verse number 4. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. The word purple there, it means red color of itself. It's obtained from the shellfish found in the Mediterranean, and the wealthy folks of the day wore scarlet, and they wore purple, lavender. Scarlet, she sat upon the red beast, but she also was clothed in red. So it's depicting the wealth of this woman, which we're going to see in chapter number 18, because chapter number 18 describes the wealth. Chapter number 17 describes the judgment of this woman. Chapter number 18 describes the destruction of this woman. So we see that she was decked also with gold. She was dressed in purple and red and adorned with gold jewelry. She also had precious stones and pearls. This is valuable and costly diamonds. Her attire and accessories depict earthly wealth. Her purple and red clothing and costly jewelry were indications of the wealth of Babylon. Look at chapter number 18, verse number 3. Someone read that for me. Because we're in context here. We're in immediate context. Revelation 18, verse number 3. Look at what it says about her wealth. Whoever has it, go ahead and read it.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Now it tells us things. It tells us the same thing that chapter 17 tells us, doesn't it? It says that she was wealthy, and it says that she was influenced, that she had fornication with the kings of the earth, and she influenced all the people. So again, it's talking about, but it lists us in chapter 18, it tells us it's bad. It tells us who it is. So then also, look at else what she has. It says, having, verse 4, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. So she has a golden cup in her hand. We'll end right here. We'll end with this thought. She had a golden cup in her hand, so we can see the picture. She commits fornication with all the kings of the earth. All the inhabitants of the earth are drunken or influenced by her fornication, her idolatry, adultery. So now she has this golden cup in her hand. And the golden cup is filled with abominations and fornications that she's making all the people of the earth to drink from. Let's see what Jeremiah says about that. She uses this golden cup to entice all of her lovers. Let's look at Jeremiah chapter 51. Because remember, Jeremiah chapter 50 and 51 are talking about the judgment of what nation? What nation? Don't be shy about it. We know what it is right now. What nation?
Babylon.
Babylon. Look and see what Jeremiah chapter 51 verse number 7 says about a golden cup. Everyone have that? Babylon, who? Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Isn't that what John just said? Let's also look at Revelation chapter 14, verse number 8. Everyone have that? It said, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. She's going to fall because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The beast is going to reign over all the kings of the earth. The beast is going to reign over all the people of the earth, all those whose names are not written in the Lamb's book of life from the foundation of the world. Can we see the pieces of the puzzle coming together? We're seeing it clearly. Who is this woman? Who is this great whore? Babylon. We're going to stop right there and we're going to take some questions. If you have any questions about what we've covered so far. Any questions on what we've covered so far? Any questions or comments? So who is the great whore? Babylon. According to what we see here, what is her whoredom? Idolatry. Keep that in mind. It's not talking about physical, sexual activity, talking about idolatry. And then she has fornication with all the kings of the earth, and she influences all the inhabitants of the earth. And she's called a great harlot. I mean, she is, as we're going to go see, she's going to have something written on her forehead. She is the mother. She gave birth to all idolatry. And when we come back, we want to talk about that the origin of all idolatry, where it starts, where it stems, where it begins. Are there any other questions or comments about what we've covered so far?
My question would be, is this happening now? This influence of Babylon happening now? Am I skipping forward too fast or too soon? So is this influence of Babylon over all the earth something that's happening presently?
It's taking place now, but it will certainly find its full fulfillment one day. But it is developing now, because it takes a long time. You just think about in Isaiah and the prophecies that he gave 700 years before Jesus comes. Just for example, unto us a son is born, and unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. That was written 700 years before it actually happened. So events had to take place over the years until finally, the scripture says, in the fullness of time, God sent forth the Son, made of a woman, made under the law to redeem those that are under the law. So there was a time when it happened, but it took time to happen. So here, John mentions this many years ago, but the influence, remember Paul in Thessalonians says the mystery of iniquity was already at work back then. But then it has to be played out in history at some point. And yes, it's going on now, but it's certainly leading or heading toward a fuller fulfillment.